Why does one person stay lodged in your mind for years? Long after the relationship ended? Long after you've moved on with someone else? Long after logic says you should have forgotten? It's not always the person you loved the most. Sometimes it's the one who left things unfinished. Psychologists have a name for this. It's called the Zeigarnik effect, and it explains something strange about how your brain handles memory. Completed experiences get filed away. Your mind processes them, makes sense of them, and lets them settle. But unfinished experiences don't get that same treatment. They stay active. Your brain keeps replaying them, searching for an ending that never came. Think about a song that cuts off right before the final note. You'll remember that unfinished song longer than one you heard all the way through. Your brain hates open loops. It wants closure so badly that it will manufacture tension just to remind you the loop is still open. Now apply that to a person. Maybe they left without an explanation. Maybe the relationship ended mid-sentence, mid-argument, mid-hope. Maybe you never got to say what you needed to say, or hear what you needed to hear. Your mind treats that absence of closure like an alarm that won't stop ringing. This is why you can be in a healthy, loving relationship years later and still think about that one person out of nowhere. It's not because you love them more. It's because your brain never got to close the file. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Researchers have found that uncertainty actually strengthens emotional attachment more than certainty does. This is called intermittent reinforcement, and it's the same psychological mechanism that makes gambling addictive. When a reward comes unpredictably, your brain releases more dopamine chasing it than it would if the reward were guaranteed. So if that person was inconsistent, warm one day and distant the next, present sometimes and gone other times, your brain wasn't just confused. It was being conditioned. Every unpredictable moment of affection became more powerful than steady, reliable love ever could be. This explains something a lot of people feel guilty about. Why do you sometimes miss someone who treated you badly more than someone who treated you well? It's not a character flaw. It's neurochemistry. Unpredictability creates craving. Stability creates comfort. And craving, unfortunately, feels a lot more like passion than comfort ever does. There's another layer to this that most people never consider. The brain doesn't just remember people. It remembers states. The version of you that existed during that relationship, the hope you felt, the excitement of not knowing what would happen next. When you think of that person, you're often not missing them at all. You're missing the version of yourself that felt most alive around them. That's a hard truth to sit with, but it changes everything once you see it clearly. Let's look at this from another angle. There's a woman named Alona who spent 4 years with someone steady, kind, dependable. He never once made her question where she stood. And yet, at night, her mind kept drifting back to someone from years earlier. Someone who canceled plans, disappeared for weeks, and came back with just enough charm to make her stay. She used to think that meant she loved him more. She didn't. What she loved was the unresolved feeling he left behind. Her brain wasn't chasing him. It was chasing an ending it never got. Here's the twist most people never expect. The person you can't stop thinking about usually isn't the one who was best for you. They're the one your mind never finished processing. Closure isn't something someone gives you. It's something your brain builds on its own once it stops waiting for an explanation that isn't coming. That's why writing the words you never said, even if you never send them, can quiet the loop. Not because it changes the past, but because it gives your brain the ending it's been searching for. Elena eventually did that. She wrote everything she never got to say. She didn't send it. She didn't need to. Within weeks, the late-night thoughts started fading. Not because she forgot him, but because her mind finally stopped treating him like unfinished business. So the next time someone crosses your mind out of nowhere, don't assume it means you still love them. Ask yourself a different question. What part of that story still feels open? Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do isn't getting back together. It's simply finishing the story yourself. If this changed the way you see people, subscribe. There are many more psychological truths most people never discover.